Is now the leading cause of death for U.S. babies.
The cause of it has always been a mystery, but it usually takes place when a baby is sleeping. Now, in a recent study, researchers took a look at whether this is actually caused by disrupted breathing.
So they studied 58 babies who died of SIDS and then compared them to a group of babies whose deaths were known. They found an abnormality in the brain receptor of the babies who died of SIDS, and that abnormality may have kept those babies from waking and then gasping for air when they needed it. The numbers of children and teens having weight loss surgery is really going up. The journal Pediatrics says kids ages 10 to 19 that are having metabolic or bariatric surgeries is up almost 19%. The American Academy of Pediatrics urges lifestyle changes and behavior therapy to treat obese children. However, it was earlier this year that it did update its guidelines and added surgery and medication for teens that are diagnosed with severe obesity. Sean?
Oh, and we've got spotty downpours, even some rumbles of thunder on live Doppler 13 radar, and a streak of 90s in the 70s.
If an overseas trip is in your future, listen up.
You may have to pay a fee just to visit certain parts of the world. We're going to verify if that's true and how much next.
Tonight, our Verified team is looking into a story that could impact millions of American travelers.
Yeah, we're talking about claims of an entrance fee just to enter certain parts of the world. Michael Wooten verifies from across the pond.
Whether it's Paris or Prague, from Rome to Reykjavik, Barcelona and Berlin, for several years, these foreign favorites were difficult to visit.
But now that pandemic restrictions are over and with the strength of the U.S. dollar, more and more Americans are traveling here to Amsterdam and in cities all over Europe.
A surge in international travelers.
Travel internationally. More people are traveling to Europe.
But there is some confusion about what type of documentation you need before you travel here.
Headlines claim Europe has added a visitor fee for U.S. travel, with reports it started in 2021, was delayed to now, or will kick in this November. Social media claims are also all over the place. So let's verify. Will Europe charge a fee for Americans to enter? Our sources are with the European Commission, the European Border and Coast Guard Agency known as Frontex, and AAA. The fee we're talking about will apply to Americans, Canadians, and other visa-exempt travelers who visit the Schengen area, these 30 European countries that share open borders. The fee pays for an ETIAS authorization designed to enhance safety by screening you before your trip.
Will help authorities to identify migratory and security risks, as well as high epidemic risks posed by visa-exempt visitors before they reach the EU.
It's scheduled to take effect next year.
The authorization will cost €7, which will be a one-off fee. It will be valid for 3 years and for multiple entries.
Here's how the electronic travel document will work. You'll go online and fill out a form asking for the following information, including your name, contact info, passport details, and a few other questions. Then you pay the fee and click Submit. You'll be checked against various law enforcement and other government databases. Frontex estimates 97% of travelers will be authorized through an automated process.
You'd get it within minutes, and then you'd be able to take that trip.
Others will be investigated manually and get a decision within 4 days. You could appeal any denial. Anita Hipper with the European Commission stressed to verify this concept is not new.
This exists already in countries like the US, Australia, and Canada.
Yes, we require this for people traveling here.
The one to get into the United States is $21, and outsiders have to pay that in order to travel here, maybe to come here on a cruise or to fly into the United States.
So we can verify, yes, starting at some point in 2024, most of Europe will charge a fee for Americans to enter. Without an ETIAS authorization, you'll be turned away at the border.
While there's no definitive date yet on exactly when this new system is going to go into place, we should learn more when the European Union's Justice and Home Affairs Council meets in June. With your Verify from Amsterdam, I'm Michael Wooten.
The summer heat is arriving in Indiana, isn't it?
I know. You can see in Amsterdam's got his little vest on there,
yeah.
but we got 84 degrees right now.
Yeah, and a few spotty showers too, so some spots going to get a little rain. A lot of places will not here over the next 7 to 10 days here. Let's show you what's going on. If you've got kids on the pitch, ball diamond, whatever it might be here this evening, going to try to squeeze in some late golf here. Make sure you're watching radar, but you can see very, very isolated at best. But let's show you a few places here near Pendleton, just north of Cicero. You can see just how isolated they are. Nothing severe, though there may be a few rumbles of thunder. We've noted that with this cell here that's still creeping toward Bloomington. And then what you're seeing on radar, by the way, kind of moving in more of a west-northwest fashion due to the upper level flow that we're currently under in the Ohio Valley. And again, just some hit and miss rain. The story is going to be temperatures. You probably noticed a little more humid today too. 90 this hour in Shelbyville, 85 in Bloomington. Rush hour forecast for tomorrow. So this is all sun, heat driven rain that you're seeing on the radar. So out the door tomorrow morning, no rain to worry about, partly cloudy, temperatures that will start out in the mid 60s. Like today, once we get into those peak heating hours, late afternoon, early evening, we'll start to see things bubble up over us. I do believe there will be a little bit more coverage tomorrow. Today, about a 20% shot. Tomorrow's the 30-40% chance of scattered showers and rumbles of thunder, but still a lot of dry time and a lot of places that will stay dry. But once we get toward after 12 o'clock, it's fair game to see things developing on radar. Future Track 13, so we'll go from Wednesday and get later in the week. What's going to be happening here, this area of high pressure starts to push the moisture axis, or the more humid air, starts to push it farther west of us. And when that happens, we get a lot of sunshine, very, very slim chance that things would pop up. But most importantly, the muggy meter will start to dry out as we go toward the weekend here. Drier air can heat up a little more efficiently than more humid air, and so that puts in temperatures in play for near and above 90 degrees beginning on Friday and into the weekend here. So you can see the stretch run we're about to embark on. 30-40% chance for tomorrow, and we could be staring down the longest streak of 90-degree-plus temperatures in central Indiana since last August. So music to the ears, I suspect. If you got a boat, get that bad boy out.
All right, Sean, thanks. Well, tonight someone is $100,000 richer.
And they might not even know it. We're going to let you know where the Lucky Powerball ticket was sold right here in Marion County when we come back. All right, listen up. If you happen to be one of the many who bought a Powerball ticket over the weekend, you want to make sure you do check your numbers.
That's because your ticket could be worth $100,000. It was sold Saturday at a Kroger on 10th Street. That's on the east side of Indianapolis.
The ticket won 4 out of the 5 numbers and the Powerball with a power play. So we want to show you the numbers. Grab your tickets if you want to double check. Make it easy for you here. 24, 38, 39, 48, 56, and the Powerball is 4.
And we're also told there was a power play of 2X. So if that's you, congratulations, $100,000. Get that thing turned in.
Yeah, that would be a life changer right there. Pay
Nice.
for college,
Sure,
buy a new car.
That'd be pretty nice.
Da, 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 da.
Get a big boat?
Yeah, put a pool in.
Oh, I like where you're going. Yeah. It's a good stretch run for it, too, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, weather is spectacular.
Yeah, that humid heat we have. Muggy meters climbing a little bit. It's also fueling a few showers. We'll have a radar check here coming up at 6.
Also coming up tonight, gunfire erupting in a Zionsville neighborhood, and that happened as police were chasing a woman wanted for battery and trespassing.
Tonight at 6, hear from the mom whose home was hit by one of those bullets. Plus,
they came out peacefully, and then they had the guys walk over to the gate, out to them one at a time.
a woman spots 2 suspects accused of carjacking hiding out in her garage.
You're going to see the shocking video leading police right to their location. That's next at 6. Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock, and we want to begin tonight with this wild story out of Lawrence after a woman realized that 2 carjacking suspects were hiding in her garage, and the whole thing was caught on her home security camera.
Tonight, John Duran shares her story of that unsettling discovery. It did lead to 2 arrests.
After we came home, there was cops blocking our street.
A woman and her husband were coming home Sunday after a night out.
They had just told us there's 2 armed suspects on the loose. So like, you probably shouldn't go home, but you can if you want to.
They did, initially to let their dog out.
And then we were just being nosy and sitting on our roof just watching like everything happen and what all the police were doing. And then just by chance, I looked on our cameras in our garage, and I had seen at 8:44, there was 2 guys that went into our garage, which was 6 minutes after we left, and just slid under our car and had been hiding under their car.
Then that witness tells me she flagged down officers from her home that were canvassing Harlan Street.
And I told them, hey, like, they're in our garage, or we saw them on our camera, they're on our garage.
Did you ever see 2 people?
Lawrence police say those suspects are minors. Earlier that night in Hendricks County, they stole an unattended running car. That car was spotted in Lawrence. The suspects led officers on a chase to Fountain Square.
And I guess they crashed and then fled from their car and ended up in our garage.
Police arrested both suspects.
They kind of just yelled at the guys in there, like, an hour after we had given them everything and told them to get out and like yelled through the cameras to get out, and then they just kind of walked out peacefully from our garage.
Lawrence police say this is a perfect example of community members helping officers resolve a potentially dangerous situation. In Indianapolis, John Duran, 13 News.
Tonight it's